Hello and welcome to Nick's Maths, Term 3, Week 2, Lesson 6. And today we're looking at pictograms or pictographs. So all last week we looked at how to collect data, how to display that data on different kinds of graphs like column graphs, pie charts, line graphs, and today we're going to go back to our pictographs, but we're going to do it slightly different. So a pictogram or a pictograph is a graph which uses pictures to represent data. They are set out in the same way as a bar chart, but the pictures are used instead of bars. Each picture could represent one item or more than one item, and each picture could represent one value or more than one value. A pictogram is similar to a pictograph, using pictures to display data. All right, so our learning intention today is we're working out how to represent data as a pictogram and how to understand the value of the picture represented. I'm going to show you an example of that later on. And we will know that we can do that when we can represent collected data in a pictogram or graph. You can understand that pictures can replace bars, columns, or lines as a representation of data. You can draw conclusions from the data displayed on the graph, and you understand what data can and cannot be displayed on a pictogram or pictograph. And what can or cannot be displayed is usually numerical, or columns, or pies, or lengths of time. So it's usually represented by pictures. Difficulties that you might come across. Students may have difficulty converting data to pictures. The value of the picture might always be interpreted as being a value of 1, whereas I'd like you to do some graphs that have pictures representing more than a value of 1. The pictures might not be labelled with enough accompanying detail. So you might do the pictures, but you might not know what the question was or what the data represents. The equipment that you need for this activity. You will need a pencil, rubber, ruler, sheets of paper, textures, and coloured pencils. And some good drawing skills would be useful as well. The language that you are using today, pictogram, a graph that uses pictures to display data sets. And I'm going to give you some data sets to make your pictograms or graphs from. Key, the legend that helps you read the data. So that's a set of images on the side that tells you what those images represent. Data, the collection of facts, numbers, or measurements or symbols. Probability, the likelihood or chance of an event happening. And graph, a diagram that displays information about several things. And in this case, it's a pictograph. Instructions, so watch my introduction video, and that's really good to stop and start, and if you're not unsure of something you can go back and forth on my video. Then watch the other video attached here, which will show you how to create a pictograph or gram and what it represents. So you'll watch the video and then you will create your own pictogram or graph, and I'm going to show you an example now. So here is my pictogram or graph, and it represents how much fruit is eaten in 1 week by students at Fitzroy Primary School. And as you can see, they eat bananas, apples, strawberries, oranges, and grapes. Now, there are 3 bananas represented at the top here, and 2.5 apples, and 6.5 strawberries, 3.5 oranges, and 2 bunches of grapes. Now, in my pictogram, I've given a key or value to each fruit. So 1 banana represents 10, 1 apple represents 10, 1 strawberry represents 10, 1 orange represents 10, and 1 bunch of grapes represent 10. So the first one up here, there are 3 bananas, so that equals 3 times 10, 30 bananas eaten in 1 week by students from Fitzroy Primary School. 10, 20, 25 apples eaten by students at Fitzroy Primary School in 1 week. So what I'd like you to do is, with the following data that I'm going to give you, is to create your own pictogram or graph, where you draw the data represented as drawings, and in the key, give those drawings some value, and the value I've given is 10. So, what I'd like you to work on is these data sets. In a class of 20 students surveyed, and this will accompany the lesson on the Compass portal, students surveyed about milkshakes. 9 like chocolate, 4 like strawberry, 4 like peppermint, 2 like banana, and 1 vanilla. Create a pictogram from the data provided. Use a picture to represent more than one or one. Data set 2. In a class of 20 students surveyed about fruit, 5 liked apple, 4 strawberries, 3 oranges, 2 mangoes, 3 kiwi fruits, 2 pears, and 1 melon. Create a pictogram from the data provided and represent these as pictures as either one or more than one. And data set 3, in a class of 20 students surveyed about toys, 7 like teddy bears, 5 toy trains, 3 dolls, 2 Lego, 2 kites, and 1 like the skipping rope. Create a pictogram to represent the toys, either as a value of 1 or as a value of another number, 2, 5, or 10. Now, you can do your own pictogram with your own data set. I would prefer that because that would show me that you understand what we're doing today. Then ask yourself some questions. Do you understand how to represent data in different ways? How do you think your data collection went? What did you learn as a mathematician? How does a pictogram or graph differ from another kind of graph, like a bar graph or a column graph? What were some of the difficulties that you faced? Please send your annotated photos uploaded through Compass. If this is too difficult, write a response and upload a JPEG or a Word document. If you have any questions, you can contact me in our morning sessions, or you can contact me by email. Take care, stay safe.